So yeah, hi everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the webinar on Togetherall. So my name is Roisin Lynch. I am Senior Account Manager at Togetherall here for Stockport Council. So the council has actually commissioned the service for all residents within Stockport to access over the age of 16. So the webinar should last around 30 minutes, but I have factored in some Q&A time should you have anything to add at the end. But if there are any questions as we go along, please feel free to pop them in the chat and I'll do my best to answer them at the end of the session. So let's begin. I've just put in an agenda just to follow through, give it a bit of structure. So I'm going to be giving you a bit more context around what Togetherall is to start with, and then show you the actual platform itself. So I'll provide a short presentation on that. So very simple question, what is Togetherall? So Togetherall, we're an evidence-based, clinically moderated, online peer-to-peer mental health community. So what that is we're providing a safe, monitored community online for interactions to take place with various different members, with the help from our healthcare professionals, so that they can help guide, advise, and engage members on the platform. So we monitor purely for the safety of our members, so allowing them to express freely and not having, fear of judgment, giving them the anonymity or the benefit of being anonymous. So all members are anonymous and you don't have to give your name away. So we just want to instill that confidence so that people can share without fear of judgment or stigma. And we provide a hub of wellbeing tools and resources for members to use as they wish, which I'll show in a moment. And the whole thing is available 24/7 as well, so that, any point, 365 days of the year, all you need is a device with an internet connection and you can access us. And it's free. So free to all Stockport residents, and you could be using it as much as you need. So you have initial usage for the first 6 months, but then following that point, you can renew. So when you're coming up to 6 months, you'll just be reminded by email if you want to continue using it, so you don't need to re-register or anything like that. So in terms of it being used, it's widely available for anyone over that age 16 plus, all the way up to however long you want to be using it, because we do see people coming from all different walks of life, which we love to see because that provides us with a large, diverse community to gain support from. And just a little bit of background. So, our team of clinical moderators are there, as I say, looking after the platform 24/7, so that, you can be assured that it's being kept safe and that you're feeling supported when you're using us. These clinical moderators, we call them our wall guides. And so they are bachelor and master level clinicians. A lot of them are trained counsellors, social workers, therapists themselves. So they're registered and licensed to practice in the different jurisdictions in which they are based. So these clinicians, as I say, they have various different backgrounds. And what they do then is they work alongside the algorithms within the platform that help identify, say, trigger words that may breach anonymity rules, which help manage risk, but also monitor the content of posts and member behaviours when they're using the community. And just to let you know, we've actually been around for quite a while, 14 years. We've been around since 2007. Our name before Togetherall was Big White Wall. We had a name change over a year ago now, so that might ring a bell to some. And we have been operating in the digital peer mental health space for a long time, and are a credible service trusted by large public health entities, post-secondary institutions, employers, associations, and clinical service providers. And we're very proud to be the only digital service that has been rated by the Care Quality Commission as well. So in terms of what the service looks like, very simple. There are 3 key features of the Togetherall platform, which are broken down into the community, the courses, and the resources. So to start with the community, it's a vibrant, safe space for members to express themselves freely with no judgment or stigma. Individuals can kind of share without that fear also of being known by a potential colleague, a friend, a neighbour, anyone that they would be afraid of knowing who they are. All you need to do is create a unique username so that when you're on the platform, it allows interactions within the community and confidence so that you won't be known. And then it gives you that confidence as well to start your own journey towards better mental health and well-being. And I do like to pause at this quote here, which is a really good illustration to say, on good days, I can support others. On bad days when I need supporting, I can find information to understand how to deal with it. We've had a member saying this because this essentially demonstrates the importance of how different members use the platform. Some come on not only to receive support and advice, but some also come onto the platform to give and help support others on the platform as well. Secondly, then we have our courses. So Togetherall have a number of online evidence-based courses, including, it's available for employees or individuals, anyone who's on the platform. It includes healthy lifestyle and practical development courses. Each course can vary, containing both educational and interactive content with no time limit to complete. So it will work around your own lifestyle whenever you want to take them. And then finally, we have our resources section. The section contains a private journal, so you can, write down your thoughts, feelings, actions, goal setter. So, to set achievable targets to help with self-motivation, self-improvement. And then we have a range of self-assessments, which are clinically established tests. And they allow you to understand your feelings and signpost to content embedded on the platform for that additional support. And we really are seeing a positive impact, so from members are benefiting. We've seen 1 in 5 members in 2020 join us due to the pressures they faced as a direct result of the pandemic. Considering we're available 24/7 as well, when a lot of other support services may not be available, or for those more difficult times and no one is available to speak to you. 62% of members access Togetherall out of hours within 2020, and over 60% of our members stated that having the 24 access was among the top factors influencing their decision to join Togetherall. So, we have seen members experience improvement, feelings of isolation, a sense of inclusion when they are part of a community. So you're probably wondering how you access us at this point. So as I say, Togetherall is free to all Stockport residents and very simple to register. So I've broken it down into simple 5 steps here. All you need to do is enter togetherall.com, our website, into an internet browser. You will find a very clear register button on the homepage, which you just click on. And then there will be some options available to you, seen in tiles. So there will be the one where you pick is called My Area is Registered tile. And then you will have access to the registration form. And then you'll just be asked a few basic questions to be completed, including the creation of your unique username. A verification of the account will be actioned. So once the button within the email you provide is clicked, it doesn't have to be a work email, it could be absolutely any email you want to use. This will activate your account and welcome you to the community and resources. So what I'll do here is I'll pause a few of the slides. I'm going to run through the platform, show you a demonstration how to navigate through, and then I'll come back and return to the final slides. Stop sharing a minute. Okay, so to continue on, I'm showing you here that I am an example member of the Togetherall community. I've logged on, and here's my homepage that I'm greeted with. You can see I am welcomed as my unique username being Rosie Star, so not my name at all, which I hope is sharing now. Hopefully somebody can give me clarification that you can see that okay. Yeah, great, sorry. So I have logged on, and within the homepage you can see my options on various different conversations happening in the feed. Just to explain and talk about is a very simple conversation happening. So message by pencil case limbo, talking about their student experience, anxiety, general chat. We have an example of an art therapy here. So we do have 2 ways of expressing. So some people can express how they're feeling by words. So we allow, an option to upload a picture, draw an image, something like that to really convey a message. And again, an article, just a suggestion on the feed, and a course potentially to consider if I want to take that. So I can browse through. Now, everything that you can see here, any conversations, bricks, I have the ability to either save it as a favorite, come back to later, turn on a notification if I find it interesting. I can be alerted when there's updates, or potentially report a post. So if I do see that it could be offensive to an individual, the person needs urgent help or another reason, I'll just document that reason and submit it, which the wall guides, the clinicians, will evaluate. They will make the decision whether it's something that, might have been harmlessly said and just check in with that person or take it down. But it does give the member ability to make, a comment if there is something that is going on, as well as the moderators looking at the platform at all times. And also just to say as well, you might notice this kind of illuminated button on the bottom right says Ask a Wall Guide. That is a space where if I had any questions, I needed to know how to navigate, I can simply ask one of the clinicians to help me. Now, it's important to note that we're not a crisis service. So if you're at a point of crisis, we certainly would be encouraging you to get that direct support. But if we do see elements of crisis on the platform, we certainly, get in touch with that member, and we may ask them to de-anonymize and try and come from a localized position of getting them the support they need. So just to bear that in mind. But as well as that, I will go through each section here. But on that point, live therapy isn't a current availability at the moment. It was something that we had a huge backlog, as you can imagine, in the last 18 months with people accessing that one-to-one direct therapy. But everything else is available for Stockport residents to access. So to follow on with the feed as well, just to say I can easily customize what it is I want to see on the community, or courses and resources, or what it is I may want to avoid. So it gives the power to the member when they're browsing. If I want to see topics on anxiety, depression, general chat, I can do. But if I want to avoid certain topics like body image, might be sensitive to me, and maybe things around phobias, I can certainly update this at any time and say that out. I can also update my mood, how I'm feeling. So you can see here, there are various different emojicons to outline what it is I'm feeling. So I must say today it is Friday. I'm going to say joyful. I'm going to update to joyful. And as I said, there are our art therapies. So if you want to explore the wall quite quickly, just to see what new art therapies have been created, I can click here. And I can either click to open a brick or drag to just explore. So dragging my mouse around. And you can see here all of the different art pieces that have been recently created. I can just drag my mouse around and have a quick look. Maybe this one is of interest to me. So just click into the tile and just some imaging of flowers. We've had our wall guide respond. We've had a couple of other comments from the community as well, responding to that. Just coming out of there. Now, just to start with the community, this is really where you can start to create a talk about our brick for yourself. So this blue button here can start a discussion for everyone, or I can start a discussion with specific people on the community, or I can create that art therapy. You can also open up the categories. So again, I want to read about something specific. 3 different topics here. What's been going on these topics as of recently? I could just easily browse through. I can decide also if I want to just watch the talkabouts or look at the bricks as well. Here you'll notice that my posts are all the posts I would have created before, groups that I'm involved with, and starred posts, any posts that I found interesting that I favorited in the past. Just to go down and see a good example. I'm going to go into newborn baby anxiety. This comment here, or this conversation here, I think it's a good example of the power of peer-to-peer support. So we have a member here called Mr. 89, and they talked about becoming a new parent. Happens to most of us. And, just finding themselves lacking confidence, putting it out there that, that they're really struggling. Things like changing nappies and clothes and feeling quite inadequate as a result of what they feel is something so simple to do. And then, really finding it difficult to actually soothe the child and don't know if anyone else has this anxiety before, feeling stupid and feeling upset over something they consider so small. We've had a wall guide respond. Typically, when it's a member's first time posting, the wall guide will respond just to encourage the community to come on board and to give that support. So that's exactly what happens here. The wall guide welcoming that members of the community, saying that they've really noticed that it's getting you down and really acknowledging the problem. And then putting a question out to the community saying, has anyone else had a similar experience? What did you do that helped? The community is here for you. And that is what's happened. It's really good. We've had responses then, Who Backs 284 respond to say they have their own 2 kids and got postpartum depression, so giving their own experience on it. And then providing some advice, talk to your partner, express how you feel, and just acknowledging it's hard, and maybe try the rocking, and really giving some lovely suggestions and comments. And similar responses here from Dr. Maud. And then what you do is see, which we love to see, is the original poster coming back and responding, thinking, it's great, they felt much better as a result, and now they feel more confident, and they've actually started to feel better as of reading these comments, and it makes them feel more at ease. So it's just a good example to show you. Just jumping in then to the courses, these are really straightforward courses, lots of different categories like mental health and self-development, but yeah, you can simply browse through the different courses on the site. Just to show you how they're structured, they're all similarly structured. So from the overview right to the end, you can't just jump from one side to the end. You do have to complete it, but it can be done at your own pace. So if, for instance, at an at-risk situation in the Cut Down Your Drinking course, you can see here, there will be a space where I can journal when I'm going through the course, if I have anything that I want to note down as I'm taking it. Similarly, a goal setting space. So maybe on the at-risk situations, I might be looking to set a reason of cutting down my drinking and why, and maybe a few units a week. That might be my kind of reason for that. We'll also provide other links as well. So like on topics like drinking to help fall asleep, maybe you want to consider meditation, relaxation apps, Headspace, Sleepio, or if it's a case that you're bored after work, how about you get involved with other people that have different hobbies to distract you? And then we'll give something like an alcohol trigger diary, so downloadable worksheets as well, depending on the topic. Now, if I want to move on to the next stage, I certainly can do. I don't need to essentially set a goal or a journal. I could also go into the course to talk about if I wanted to. Not again, it's an option, not compulsory, but it's a space where I can learn a little bit more about others that have taken the course, maybe get some motivation and advice from someone taking a specific topic as well to keep me on board. And then finally, resources. So to start with, we have our self-assessments. So these are short questionnaires to capture how you're feeling over time. If I was to open up you all here, you can see lots of different questionnaires on various different topics. Now, if I went to anxiety as an example, start just to get a feeling for that. You can see it's a GAD-7 style questionnaire. So they're all clinically validated, either PHQ-9, GAD-7. If I was saying feeling nervous, anxious, on an edge, nearly every day, obviously I will score quite high on this. So that might be something our wall guides would look out for as well, just in case you need that additional support if you had quite a high scoring. But it's great. You can keep an eye on your results. So you can take it as many times as you want, every week, every month, to kind of gauge how you're feeling on those topics. And then finally, we have our articles. So as I say, we have over 200 articles for members to explore and simply go through the categories of what might be of interest to them and learn a bit more about. Yeah, so they're updated regularly enough. And again, as I say, it's just further learning for the members. So when you're kind of considering using Togetherall and integrating it into your wellbeing toolkit, something to consider might be you can use it before or during or after therapy if you are taking therapy, or it could just bridge the gap left by traditional support. You can also signpost it as well, you know, even if you don't feel it's for you, but you could come across conversations with other vulnerable people, residents in your community, And it's really simple to signpost us as well. Like simply direct people to togetherall.com. They can learn about us. There's no waiting lists as well for Togetherall, so anyone can get support in minutes. And then finally, it is important to consider eligibility, you know. So I don't believe there is a one size fits all for everybody. So if there is, say, a person in crisis, like maybe yourself or anyone you come across and their needs are more complex, you know, due to us being a non-crisis service, we might not be the best route for an individual. However, anyone who's experienced, say, generalized anxiety and worry, isolation, have difficulty in expressing themselves, or have any mild to moderate anxiety or depression worries, we can certainly be a great help, and we're also a great preventative tool. So as I say, we're easily accessed around the clock. We really are available 24/7, and we're completely free. So on that note, just as a reminder how to register, we also have a QR code. You can open up on your phone and get to our registration page. My details are there, but thank you so much for your attention. I'll open it up to questions, comments, or any feedback.